it's now Joao Felix, who obviously played for Chelsea before when Graham Potter was still the manager. I remember he got sent off in his first game against Fulham away from home. I was there. And to be fair, he was one of our better players in a very, very poor season. Hit the post a lot, had a lot of moments where actually could have come away a lot better than he did, even though a lot of fans still really liked him after that loan spell. Went back to Atletico, then had a great time at Barcelona, and obviously Joao Felix had never got along with Diego Simeone. So this is a player that they overspent on. They spent over 100 million euros on, and he's not fitting in their plans. He hasn't been in their plans for quite some time now. It makes sense. He's willing to take a massive wage cut to join Chelsea, fit into the wage structure. Obviously, if we get Champions League football, a lot of players make more money, but if we don't, then their wage significantly decreases. And as far as I'm aware, Joao Felix is happy to accept all of the terms that Chelsea would offer him on a contract. He loved it in London, he loved being part of the squad, and he felt very comfortable and at home. And I think that he would be a great signing, to be honest with you. I know that we obviously rejected Joao Felix when we had Pochettino. I stand by that decision. I think that was the right decision. I don't think Felix fits the Poch profile either. Just defensively doesn't do enough for me. But in terms of Maresca and playing in a more technical system, a more possession-based system, he will have the freedom to do a little bit more off the ball. And I believe that his quality on the ball will be very, very helpful. I mean, if you look at the centre of the park, I think we have enough options in the middle. Cole Palmer can play as a 10 and Kunku can play as a 10. I think Chukwuemeka is a player that not enough people have been speaking about. I absolutely love Chukwuemeka. And the right-hand side is, you've got Palmer, Madueke, Neto can play there as well as on the left. So I think that what we will see is, if Joao Felix does come in, it will almost be as like a left winger, inverting every now and again. That's where I see him actually getting minutes in a Chelsea shirt, maybe rotating with Neto. Obviously, there could be injuries as well. We need all the players we can get in those positions to make things happen. Because if you do lose a player like Palmer, for example, you've got Madueke, you can go on the right, you've got Neto, and then you've got Joao Felix. You can play around a little bit. I think it's too early to just say, right, this player's going to play here, this is what's going to happen. I want to understand what Maresca's doing first, and then I think we can judge it. I think we're improving based on what I saw against Inter Milan. It looks like we're moving in the right direction, but I mean, who knows? Honestly, who knows? But I think Joao Felix would be a massive step in the right direction. Now it's all about price, okay? Atletico Madrid value Joao Felix at 45 million. That is cheap compared to what they bought him for. They've been losing a lot of money. If we offer anything close to that and 50 million, the deal is in our hands, right? But the problem is Chelsea want to offer the same amount of money for Joao Felix as they did for a Meridian. And two different types of players, completely different experience, completely different profile. I think that that's a deal that's very hard to pull through. If you're looking at 35 million for Joao Felix, I think that's daylight robbery, right? You are literally stripping Atletico Madrid of a player that they spent more on than anyone else, and you're offering 35. I think when it's between 10 million for this type of deal, I don't know. I just think that it makes sense to maybe spend the extra money. If you're going to spend 45 million, I think as Chelsea fans, we could all justify it. I know there's still some mixed opinions on Joao Felix. The majority of Chelsea fans, I would say, still really like him. They think he's really good. And if he was good when we were rubbish, imagine when we're good, how good Joao Felix will be. That's how a lot of people think. The issue is now, if there is no agreement for Joao Felix, will Atletico Madrid pull out of the Gallagher deal? Now, my opinion is that I don't think they will. And I think that is purely because Diego Simeone is so keen on Conor Gallagher. There is no player in world football right now at this moment that fits into that system in midfield for Atletico more than Conor Gallagher. You're looking at a system that requires you to literally be a road runner, and we have possibly one of the best road runners in the world. I mean, there's not many players you can look at and say they do a better job than Gallagher at what he does, which is ultimately just putting in the hard graft and running miles and miles on the pitch, covering a ridiculous amount of ground. This is a player that suits the profile better than anyone I can think of at the moment. I mean, if you can think of anyone different, let me know. I think Gallagher is that player. Not only is he a really good manager to have defensively, we know he can score goals, he can be box to box. He's just got everything that you need in the centre of the park. Atletico aren't looking to pass out the back and play tiki-taka, right? So you don't have to worry about the technical side of Gallagher's game. He offers everything that they need. And Joao Felix offers something that we need, which is creative spark and end products with a bit of quality, right? A bit of finesse. That is what we need at the moment with this system. Any system that requires you to break low blocks when you dominate possession, ultimately that is going to be a priority, right? That's why I think Dewsbury Hall is a great signing, because I think technically if you're replacing Conor Gallagher, Dewsbury Hall fits into the system, and I think that Joao Felix will as well. Where he'll play his exact positioning, I think it's hard to judge a player straight away. Honestly, I haven't watched a ridiculous amount of football in Spain. I saw a couple of games he played for Barcelona. He looked really, really good, and I've heard good things as well. But he's not going to improve at Atletico, is he? Nobody wants him to be there. Diego Simeone certainly doesn't. This deal works for every party. This deal helps Atletico fund what they've already spent the money on, which is Julian Alvarez from Man City. They're spending 75 million plus 20 million add-ons. They need to find a way to fund that. If that's through selling Joao Felix, that's the thing to do. And then obviously they'll have extra cash for Conor Gallagher. This is a great window for Atletico. I think if they don't go ahead with this deal, they've bottled it. But also we have as well, because we had the chance to get rid of Gallagher and bring in a Meridian. And if this was the policy the whole time, then why have we not gone ahead? Is this really to do with an ankle injury, or is there a bigger game at play here? Are we trying to be almost a little bit dirty? Dirty tactics in the transfer window, messing teams around in order to get the sales we want, but not fully commit to what Atletico Madrid need in terms of sales. So, look, for me, this is a deal that needs to go ahead for all parties. I think it will be fantastic business for Chelsea. I think it gives a completely different perspective. And off the back of Pedro Neto, this is the second signing that we can say is of the quality that Chelsea are looking for. And there can't be any complaints there. So if that is the case, you look at all the players we've signed. You've got Pedro Neto, you've got Joao Felix, you've got all these other younger players we have here, but starting to finish off the transfer window with a little bit of a bang. And I think there'll still be more to come. If that is the case, then that will change the way I'm looking going into the season with a much more positive outlook. Because we're seeing some more ready-made signings, which is exactly what we've been asking for. So Chelsea, let's get it done. Let's sign Joao Felix. If we are going to get rid of Conor Gallagher, let's get it done. And we still need a striker. Victor Osimhen is the next player. So I'm looking at him as well, and I'm saying, get it done. And then I think Chelsea fans will have nothing to complain about. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. And up the Chelsea.